Hey everyone, GameHounds podcast. We're here. Nick and I have sitting here talking about how Elon Musk is such a crap piece of shit person.
Very good salesman, good snake oil salesman.
Good snake oil
You know what?
salesman.
I want someone to use AI to make a picture of Elon Musk in like one of those 50s snake oil. He's got like the cart behind him and he's selling the little tincture of like, this will solve everything. This will give you energy. This will make your hair grow back. This will help your libido. Yeah. Take my tincture.
That can be done in a matter of moments. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, I'll work on that while you're talking. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about. GDC happened this last week. It in San Francisco, it was a really nothing burger. Like you wouldn't have known GDC was happening. There was just nothing about it, even on the ads. Like normally, the ads on Caltrain will be game related or whatever big like
Mm.
Salesforce has, that Salesforce event. Um, it's all of the ads everywhere start changing to Salesforce related ads because there's so many people in town. GDC, nothing. It was still the same AI ads everywhere. And yes, San Francisco has
God,
more
it's
AI ads than it has homeless people. And
It's every single
to be
fucking
fair, the homeless
billboard.
situation in San Francisco is overblown by a lot by the media. That being said, our real problem is AI ads fucking everywhere.
Whenever I come into the city, I always drive past all these billboards and I'm like, I don't know what that does. I don't know what that does. I don't know what that does. Don't
I
know what
don't
that
even
does.
know what that means. Like, it's all like three-letter acronyms. I have no
Uh-huh.
idea what it means.
I know it's all AI related. Don't know what it does. There's this one company, and don't look them up because I don't want to know what they do. But the
Okay.
the billboard is always just like a lambda symbol. And every
Mhm.
time I look at it, I think of Half-Life, but it's not Half-Life related. It's obviously some tech AI thing. Every time I
Wasn't
look at
there
it,
also a Lambda-related company in, Borderlands?
maybe, but like it's just that
Yeah.
symbol, and I look at it and I think Half-Life. No, is that Adobe thing? Is that like a Photoshop logo? Because it kind of looks like an Adobe logo. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it has to do with AI, but I just look at it and go, what the fuck? What is this? Why?
What is
You
this?
spend
I
all this
don't
money, just put a this lambda symbol on a billboard. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you do, and I don't really care enough to look it up. I will remain happily confused. Aw.
We have dog. We have
I
wet dog
I also why wet? I also
because we
have
just gave her a
cat.
bath. You have dry cat, I have wet dog.
Yes, dry. I have cat that's so dry he has dandruff. Fucking
Ooh. Do you want me to
dandruff.
give your cat a bath sometime? I can do that.
No.
I'm an expert cat bather.
No, he's fine.
Okay.
Just needs it's just the weather.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that, I'm sure, sometime during the show. Let's
Yeah.
start the actual show because
I mean,
this
AC
time I
Wraith says
remembered.
there's the fraternity Lambda 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 from the
Mhm,
Poly Eight Revenge of the Nerds.
mhm.
Maybe it's that. Maybe it's an advertisement for
And then
a
there's a real
fraternity.
sorority called Delta Delta Delta, AKA the Tri-Delts, AKA Delta Delta Delta, can I help you, help you, help you?
Is that your sorority?
No, no, I was
Oh,
Alpha Phi.
okay.
I
But you know their catchphrase. Was it
Well,
like,
no, that's yeah, no, it's not that's not their catchphrase. That's what other people talk, like
oh,
everybody, like Alpha Phi, all
the
for free was, like
like the mocking
yeah, the
the
mocking, right, and Delta Delta, Tri-Delts was always, "Delta Delta Delta, can I help you, help you, help you?"
so there was a
'Cause they're
rivalry
they're the
here.
super chipper ones. "Hi, I'm a
Okay.
Tri-Delt."
I
Alpha Phis
was
were
commute from
kind of
home,
known for
so was I.
I am very much an Alpha Phi. We were kind of known as, like, serious, we weren't party girls.
Okay, so
We weren't the
I'm
rich
getting
girls. We were the very serious,
okay. Well,
we
so
were
if we can like make go back to Revenge of the Nerds, I'm picturing like the bookish glasses, sweaters, turtleneck
maybe that's a
girls
little extreme.
versus like yes, of course it's extreme versus the bikini clad blonde full makeup after
That's the
waking
tryouts.
up and I just picture these two houses engaged in some sort of sorority war.
Actually, no, the bikini clad ones. Who would be the bikini clad ones? Well, the super rich bikini clad ones were the Kappa Kappa
Okay.
Gammas or
Okay.
KKG. Um, God, I can't really think of who would be the bikini clad party girls, but tryouts were the ones that were like, "Hi, how can I help you?"
Okay. Okay.
You know, ponytails, or no, they would be a ponytail, big splayed ponytail on the top, blonde. Anyone listening who is a sorority sister of any kind, I am making no aspersions on you. This is just what I learned, as an LP.
You were just taught to hate each other.
No, we didn't hate each other. We actually all liked each other.
Okay.
All liked, except there's one, but I won't mention it. But
Mm,
there's one
mm.
that everybody kind of is like insufferable.
Andrew in the chat says, "I always imagined Edie full sorority girl in high school, in college,
No, in
not high
college, I was
school."
not full sorority girl, although I was a founding member of my chapter at San Francisco State. I'm one of the, founders. Uh, my whole reason for getting involved in a sorority is I wanted to prove that a nerd could break the blonde barrier.
Okay.
And I did. I became vice president. So,
Okay.
yeah. And I founded a chapter. So, I definitely broke a lot of barriers. Anyway, shall we start the real show, please? So
Yeah.
we can get off of my sorority days. All right.
Okay, wait.
Starting.
How close was the sorority days to the dynamite chucking days?
Um,
They crossed over?
a, a lo- there was significant crossover.
Okay. Okay.
Not saying that there were fraternity members with me in Tijuana when we were chucking dynamite out the back of the car.
No, no, you're not a snitch.
Nope. But yes, there was significant crossover.
Okay.
Let's just say I probably wouldn't have chucked any dynamite were it not for my association with fraternities. All right. Can we start the show now?
Yeah, that said, no context for that.
Thank you.
This
Go
podcast
move.
discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 812. We are recording this on Sunday, March 15th, 2026. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola. And
Hey.
according to Chaos, he's like, don't move on. This is great stuff for the Gamer Edie wiki page. Big lore here.
Mhm.
No. We don't do things for the
There's a
wiki page.
lot of important backstory being told here.
No, there's no important backstory happening. I have no inclination to expound on it further. Let's just say you missed. I'm fun now. That was a lot of fun then. Um, so and that was Chaos. Chaos has to work tonight, so he's not going to be on the show. So it's just Nick and me today. By the way,
Yes.
if you're just joining us, I would love to have you take a moment to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Wherever you are watching, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, please do me and everyone else a favor by doing that. And also, just to give a little extra pitch, don't forget We do have a Discord channel. Nick and I are on it a lot. Sometimes I post stuff to it that I don't even talk about on the show, which will be the case. So please go ahead and do that now. Help us out. If you like this content, want to see more, that's the best way to do it. All right, so let's talk about games. Nick, what game?
The gals still throw dynamite out of trucks. Townies hate it.
Yeah, the way they do. What games did you play?
I have played a game that I think you might love if you pick it up. I had not tweeted. I had sent this to you and Andrew before. It's a game called Esoteric Ebb, and
Okay.
it's kind of the short description is it's Disco Elysium mixed with D&D.
Okay.
So the way that Disco Elysium made a lot of internal conflicts and a lot of internal debate. They mechanicized a lot of it. They turned it into game mechanics. So, like, you would have some aspect of yourself arguing with another aspect of yourself over a choice, and then you would have to make that choice. It takes that same concept but applies it to D&D stats.
Mm-hmm.
So as you wake up, as the game starts, you'll have charisma is a character in the game. Strength is a character in the game. Constitution is a character, and they argue with each other as you get into dialogue. So you'll start
Mm-hmm.
talking with someone, and you'll roll like a Constitution check. And if you fail or succeed, Constitution is going to talk either way. It's going to give you advice, but whether that roll fails or succeeds, it might give you good advice or bad advice. And then it will argue with dexterity about what you should do. It's like, no, don't climb out onto that ledge to investigate that bird's nest. You can't do it. Dexterity is like, fuck yeah, you can, man. You can absolutely do it.
I would imagine dexterity gets you in a lot of trouble. I can
It
see
would.
dexterity being the drunken one, like, you should try it. Go ahead. What's the worst that can happen? Give it a shot. You won't know your limitations until you try to challenge them.
You
Do it, dude.
absolutely can.
I believe in you.
Although what makes it kind of fun is you can see when they every time they talk, there's like a skill check on them to kind of
Mhm.
determine the quality of their advice. And you can see whether that succeeded or failed. So there's
That's
one
good.
time I was talking with this lady orc and trying to flirt with her. And my charisma, which is high in the game,
Mhm.
was like, oh man, you've got this. Like she thinks you're a goof, but she likes you. You've got this one chance. This is what you do. Tell her tusks are hot. Like, tell her tusks are really long. And I could see skill check failed. Tell her tusks are really long. Two options. Your tusks are really long. I'll bet you could throw me over your shoulder like a sack of potatoes. And it's like, well,
Obviously failed, so you wanna say the potatoes.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know. The tusks one seems like it might be the better option, but that was the advice from a failed check. I'm gonna pick the other one. And she's like, I absolutely could. And maybe if you're lucky, I will. And I thought, yeah, I'm
Okay,
in.
so you can extrapolate sometimes based on a failed check of what the correct answer is.
Yes. But that lends itself. Disco Elysium was a very serious game. This
Yes,
is
it was.
not.
Okay.
This game is like full on. The writing is so good, and the way that your stats argue with each other creates some like genuinely hilarious moments. Um, and even just some of the things you can pick up early on. You wake up and you're kind of in this morgue, and there's a bunch of apples around, and you're like,
Mhm.
"Why are there apples in a morgue?" I don't know. Should I eat the apples? That's a lot of apples. Do you want to eat all the apples? I'm going to try to eat all the apples. And then you can roll to see how many apples you eat. But there's also a zombie. And you're like, why is there a zombie here? I don't know. He doesn't seem to be like aggressive. He's just moving apples. Well, I'm a thief. I can steal from him. Oh, I found a tooth. It's a magical tooth. Okay. And then later on, you'll find a mortician and you can kind of ask him, I found this tooth on the zombie. Do you think I should put it in my mouth? And he's like, "What? You? Why would you do that? And your character can choose just some of the stupidest options
Mhm.
that are hilarious. And so the writing is really, really funny. Uh, the story, or at least what the premise is, takes place in this fantasy world that I don't think is associated with D&D in any way, even though it uses a lot of the mechanics of D&D.
Mhm.
Uh, and so I really would like to see a world map because it talks about this group of cities, these bands across this coast. And so I imagine a coast, whether it's a circular coast or just a straight coast, and up and down it are different bands of cities. And then to the west is just like desert. Uh, but you wake up, I think the whole thing takes place in this one band, this one city that's kind of like a big island city.
Mhm.
Uh, and there's going to be an election in 5 days. And so, very much like Disco Elysium, a lot of this game is about what political alignment do you want? Because you can choose your stats, you can choose your class in the beginning, but there's an interesting trait called class conflict, which is I started the game as a rogue, as like, oh, I'm going to steal some stuff. But then people kept asking me, "Oh, are you the cleric? Are you the cleric?" And so eventually I just started saying, "Yes, I am the cleric." And now I got a trait that says, "You have said you're a cleric twice. You've said you are rogue twice. There's a class conflict there. What are you? How do you define yourself?" And as you explore this world, you'll encounter different situations kind of related to the election, different political groups. Very early on, you have a bunch of gnomes, a bunch of dwarves trying to set up a rally for their political group. And one of the guardsmen, the orc lady, is standing by saying, I know you don't have a permit for that, and I'm going to catch you. And she's another political affiliation. And so, depending on which of those groups you help, that will say, oh, you're aligned with that political group, or you're aligned with this political group.
So
And
you
you
don't declare what your political group or even your class is, you declare it by your actions.
Yeah, your actions determine everything, and your
Okay.
actions can conflict with each other. They can contradict each other. And in fact, each of the stats has a political affiliation. Intelligence is all about, I could do a better job leading. You should vote for me. And
Mhm.
they want to be the person that you vote for. Wisdom is like, no, it's for the people. We want to help the democracy. We want to give it to the people. I think strength is no, the government. Strength is aligned with the government, with the status quo. Dexterity is like full on capitalist. Like, no, we're going to trade, we're going to steal whatever I can need to get rich. That's what I do. Charisma has no political affiliation because charisma just wants people to like him. So charisma will just say whatever to be popular.
Mhm.
And so as you invest in each of these stats, what that means is that makes it easier to align yourself with that political group because that stat aligns with that group. And
Mhm.
so, but you might get into a situation where you disagree and you want to do something else. And so it's interesting to explore this world and to kind of find who you are as you're learning about this world. And like, well, I don't know. I thought I was this person, but as I go around the world and talk to people and help them, I find myself wanting to be someone different. And so it's interesting to take that character creation of Disco Elysium and apply it to something that is a bit more lighthearted and goofy and just fun, but still has a true depth of character and depth of writing.
Mhm.
And there is an overall story. Like the premise is that there's an explosion at a tea shop, and you are supposed to investigate that explosion. But also, you wake up in the morgue because you were pulled out of the water. So, you might have died and come back to life. That might be something you want to investigate, but you could choose to investigate that or investigate the tea shop or just blow it all off and go do something completely different.
So it's
Uh,
very open world.
Very open ended. Like
Okay.
you're kind of on a timer because the election is in 5 days, and that's when the game will end. And every action you take moves that timer forward a little bit. Whether it's just spending 10 minutes reading books in a library or talking with someone for a bunch, that moves time forward. But it also the game doesn't feel like it's pushing you in any one direction. And so it doesn't feel like it's going to punish me for not following any trend. So I do feel a bit of freedom to just kind of go and explore and to just go where my curiosity takes me.
That's a nice
And
feeling.
yeah,
So it
it's
sounds like there's that it's. I mean, there obviously are fights, but it's D&D related, so it's turn-based, so it's
maybe
not,
I haven't gotten
stressful.
into any combat. I could have fought the zombie in the beginning, but I
Yeah.
didn't have a weapon. I could have fought this one guard with a crossbow to try to steal the crossbow from him, but I
Mhm.
didn't. So I haven't actually gotten into any combat yet. I have no idea what it will be like.
And you're playing this on PC?
On PC, on the Rogue Ally,
Rogue
on the
Ally?
handheld,
Okay. All right.
which works really well. It's designed for controllers, but it's got a kind of interesting, different control scheme that takes a little bit of getting used to because you basically navigate all the menus with the face buttons. So
Oh, okay.
on a PlayStation controller, you would hit triangle to bring up the main menu. And then as you scroll through like your inventory, you would like hit square to activate a spell and then, circle to back out. But you're not using like the triggers that much. You're not using the D-pad that much. It's just a very different control scheme. It's not the traditional hit start and, go through a menu. There's a lot more face button interactions it takes getting used to, but that also kind of feels like the fun of it of getting look, I'm entering into a fantasy world that I have know nothing about, a character that I know nothing about, and a control scheme that I know nothing about. So there's kind of a lot of fun discovery along the way.
That makes sense.
But yeah, it was a game I was playing while on the couch while Rachel was watching TV, and I'm sitting there, and every now and then I'm just laughing to myself playing it, and she looks over and says, "Are you enjoying your game?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have to be very careful when I'm playing a game on my iPad or on my phone while we're watching television, because if I come across something that's like, "Oh," he'll look over and go, "Are you not watching Bill Maher with me?" I'm like, "No, I'm watching Bill Maher. No, don't change the channel. No, 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 it's good, it's good, it's good.
yeah. No, I'm watching. I'm
Totally
paying
watching
full
this.
attention. Yeah, yeah,
Full attention."
yeah.
Mhm. So anything else you played?
A couple things, but I'll talk about them later. Esoteric Ab is the main one, and a lot of fun. I can't wait to like just explore more of what the fuck is going on in this world. Like, yes, there may be a conspiracy related, a political conspiracy about this tea explosion. Maybe there's
Mhm.
some like it wasn't a tea explosion. There's like some underground goblin gangster shit going on. But also, like, I just kind of want to push my luck and try to steal an egg out of a bird's nest. I want to listen to Dexterity and have Dexterity get me into trouble. It's like you have the the angel and demon on your shoulder telling you what to do, and it's like I'm just gonna listen to the demon and see what happens.
Do you've got other games that I see listed here. You wanna talk about them later, or you're gonna talk about them now?
No, I'll talk about
Oh,
them later because I haven't
did
played
you we're gonna play later tonight. We're gonna play,
Toxic Commando.
Toxic Commando.
Yeah,
You didn't play it yet?
no,
Oh, I thought
I watched Andrew play it. Which yeah, Andrew, if you're
Oh.
watching, if you play later, um, we'll play later.
Yeah, we'll play later. I don't know if I'm gonna stream it, maybe? I'll keep you posted in the Discord. By the way, as a reminder, the Discord. It is GameHounds Discord if you wanna look for it, but yeah, there's our Discord information right there. Uh, Nick and I are in theory going to play it tonight. We'll
I
see how it
I
goes.
I will try.
Yeah, I will try.
Yeah.
I have my PlayStation here at the apartment, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it on PlayStation or if I'm gonna play it on PC because I'd obviously have the PC at my apartment as well. But I kinda sorta wanna play something on my I've not played a game on my ginormo television yet in the new place, so I
That's a
kind of want to
crime.
plug it in, do that. All right.
Okay, yeah. Moving on. AC Wraith
Yeah.
said that Heart of the Machine seems to have a lot of roleplay exploration as well. I've been watching a lot of playthroughs. It was just released in early access for a relatively huge discount.
Hmm.
Okay, Heart of the Machine.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. Nick, look
I
that
gotta
up
check
for
that.
me.
I mean, it's funny. Esoteric Ebb, I had heard nothing about until I saw a review on PC Gamer, and I sent you and Andrew like a paragraph of the review that was basically like, yeah, I was tasked with investigating this explosion, and a day later, I've done all this stuff, and I have not investigated the explosion at all. And like, he tried to flirt with the orc lady. He did not have high charisma, and so he kept telling her, "I love you," and she's like, "Oh." And every time he did, it physically hurt him until he literally died of cringe.
Yeah, I think I remember you putting that on there and just the
Mhm.
description and the description from the review. And I was like, where do I get this game? I don't know what this is, but it sounds awesome. So it's awesome, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. He talked the zombie into beating himself to re-death, then robbed said zombie and 40 other people, became politically active and tried to gather support for my candidacy as wizard god, failed spectacularly at flirting with an angel, befriended a guzzling sphinx and was sent on an epic quest. I uncovered a huge conspiracy quite accidentally while breaking and entering. I strained myself so much climbing up a medium sized ladder that I had a reality bending out of body experience.
Yeah.
So, somebody made fun of me so hard I literally died.
Yeah, that made me go, I want to play this. So I'm glad that it's good. And this very much
Yeah,
seems like a kind of game I would like to
very good,
play.
really high quality writing. Like that's
Mhm.
really why you play it is the
Right.
writing.
Right. So, only thing that I was really playing again was still Slay the Spire, not Slay the Spire 2, even though apparently Slay the Spire 2 is blowing doors on everything. People are
Yeah, it's
loving it.
really blown up.
It's really blown up. So, I don't think it's mobile yet. I haven't looked since it came out, but I would assume it's not yet mobile. I'm going to be playing it, PC wise, on my commutes. My problem is that my commute on Caltrain just short enough that it's I can't quite get into a full game of anything.
Mm,
Um, it's it's about 30 minutes, and I have to be ready to get off the train because of the scooter, so I have to go down one station early. If I get on an express train, it's like 22 minutes, which is really by the time you get your bike stowed
good.
and get your seat, it's really hard to just jump into. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna try and leave my laptop at work this week and just bring my Steam Deck and play the Steam Deck on on the on the train. Because I think the Steam Deck and the laptop, that's a lot of weight and a lot of bulk that I have to worry about
Yeah.
carrying with me on a scooter. So, and Nick's about to sneeze, and one, two, three, four, five sneezes. And now he's gonna go blow his nose. Well, while he does that, since I have nothing else to talk about, I'm
No, I'm
just
just
gonna.
letting the cat in.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna hit the news.
Okay.
All right, and Shepard approves. Let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news. News, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie and Nick Nicola. And our first item is, oh,
Do you want to start with all the GDC stuff? Or
yeah,
both do it.
yeah. GDC happened this week. Like I said, it really didn't make a lot of attention locally in San Francisco, which is unusual. In San Francisco, it has typically been everywhere. You knew GDC was happening. If you didn't know GDC was happening, you wouldn't have known GDC was happening in San Francisco, which I think is more a function of how much AI has taken over and bogarted all of the spaces for advertising and that kind of stuff. But
Mm.
as far as, let me get to my news banners. What was said is GDC. I really only focused my stories on what was going on with Microsoft because, of course, that's the big news with the Project Helix, this new box that Asha announced last week, that is going to be really a Steam machine, aka a PC in an Xbox wrapper that has all of the convenience of a console, but it's a PC. So it will play your Xbox games. It will also play your PC games, kind of blurring the lines between PC and console gaming. First off, if you had any questions about how much the line is going to be blurred, it's going to be blurred a lot. They made it clear that you're going to see very much a merging between Xbox and Windows. You're going to see a lot more Xboxy things on Windows. You're going to see a lot more Windowsy things on Xbox. Let me find where I have my article about that. Oh, come on, Edith. Where did you put it?
Well, apparently
So an Xbox mode is rolling out to Windows 11 PCs next month.
Yes, and that is a rebranding of the Xbox full screen experience, which is the
Right.
current operating system of the Rogue Ally X. They're rebranding it to Xbox mode as they add new features to it. I think one of the things what I thought was an aggressive timeline when we heard that Asha was taking over and she came from AI. I said, "Oh, there's going to be AI stuff in Xbox by Game Awards." I thought that was aggressive. Turns
Mm-mm.
out April. Turns out a
Yeah.
month later,
Yeah.
because AI-driven clips, rolled out to Xbox insiders last month. So people using the Xbox FSE on the Rogue Ally X, who are insiders, can access some AI features now, but Xbox mode, which is the updated version, which I believe it's going to have those AI clips, but it's also bringing something else to it.
Well, there's 3 things that they said that they're bringing that are AI to the Xbox. When they made the announcement, they made a big deal about, "Oh, this is not gonna change development. This is just to support developers' vision." And remember I said you can best believe Copilot is going to be on an Xbox?
Oh yeah,
Copilot is going to be on an Xbox. So the
they've
3 main
absolutely
features, and the 3 AI features that they announced and they're touting right now. The first one is super resolution,
Okay,
and that
the
is currently available on Windows 11. It's supposed to help to increase the frame rate without compromising the resolution by upscaling alongside things like DLSS.
okay, yeah, and that's what will come to Xbox mode in April.
Right. So during their presentation at GDC, they revealed that Auto SR, super resolution, will be rolled out to the Rogue Ally X handhelds sometime in April. Now, the second one that they announced was the AI clipped highlight reels, which you talked about. That feature is going to auto record your gameplay. And when it sees something that it thinks you might want to have saved and to show it to people later, things like a big boss fight, or you almost die, or an exceptional kill streak, or something like that, that's going to auto create those clips for you. That feature just came to the Rogue Ally X handhelds earlier this month for the Xbox Rogue Xbox insiders, as you said, but it is going to be launched out for everything, including, I'm assuming, the new box that's going to be coming out whenever
Yes,
it comes out.
and I gotta say your video is like a little choppy. Your
Is it?
audio's fine, but your video's a little choppy.
All
Um,
right. Let me actually. No, I am not playing anything. I think it's just a little bit of a stutter with with the internet. It happens.
okay.
The third thing that they announced, the third AI feature, is Gaming Copilot, and that is essentially a helper that is run on an LLM. So when they did the presentation, they shared a couple of examples of how it's gonna work. In one clip, a man's voice is telling the person who's playing how they can, like, calibrate their car in Forza Horizon to, optimize it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
The Copilot is telling you how to get started in Sea of Thieves. A third example that they showed explained where to earn a specific drop needed to complete a quest in Diablo 4. So it essentially becomes, instead of you going to YouTube or doing Google searching something,
Yeah.
it actually is finding stuff for you, or it's actually it's Google in the box for all intents and purposes, but it's Google you can actually talk to. Large language model based, supported through that. As
Yeah.
someone who has had to just last week on this show had to work with an AI assistant helper bot in that way that was also based clearly on an LLM, it's not very helpful. They don't get it right. And if you're sitting there talking to someone and saying, no, that's not what I want. I want to know this. Oh, clearly you want to know about blah, blah, blah. No, not that, this. And so you're sitting there trying to explain in such a way to get it to understand what you're asking. And then it comes up and says, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. Or I don't have any information on that. And
Yeah.
every single time, I'm so sorry. Clearly, this is my misunderstanding. What you really wanted to know is about this, right? No. Oh, I'm so sorry. My mistake. You were clearly looking up this. No. They're very apologetic for being
Oh
as
yeah.
bad as they are. They're the nicest bad things you could have. And in a way, that almost makes it more annoying because it's wasting my time with your apologies. You're a bot. You don't feel sorry. You have no sympathy because you're not human. So fuck off. Just oops. Just say oops. That's all I need. Oops. Don't pretend you're sorry. Do not apologize to me. You have no feelings. You're not a human. Stop it.
Yeah. It's all just fake.
It's
Um,
fake.
at the GDC, I know the people implementing AI, and I'm trying to find the full names, Zhang and Yadav.
Mhm.
They were the ones guiding this whole AI presentation at GDC. And this Kotaku article mentions that people asked them about Gaming Copilot is essentially a walkthrough, but it's not making up that information on its own. It's taking that information from people posting online. And if you take that information without paying the people making the walkthroughs, eventually the people will stop making the walkthroughs, which leaves the AI with nothing to gather.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
from Kotaku, they say that Zhang and Yadav were sensitive to that in their talk. In fact, Yadav spent the last chunk of her time during the presentation talking about how important content creators are to the gaming ecosystem and the need to
because they
reward them
they
for their
really needed them to
contributions.
steal from them. They really need you to stop, to not worry
So,
about us stealing from you, because we really need you to make content we can steal from.
so is Microsoft going to start paying all the people whose content Gaming Copilot is potentially
Absolutely not.
ripping off? The company certainly gestured at the possibility. Yadav said Xbox is exploring ways to license gaming content from creators that's used by Gaming Copilot. But we don't have any specifics about how that would work, what amount of money will be changing hands, and whether it would really affect things in the long term. So
No.
much like the AI bots themselves, the people pushing it will say whatever sounds good and will be very apologetic and, oh no, we're exploring this, we're exploring that. Yeah, Rick, you old school man, you're supporting the original creators. He says I get all my walkthroughs from GameFAQs, always been free.
Right.
I
Because it was
God,
gamers helping gamers, not
GameFAQs was
gamers
such a
helping
lifesaver.
LLMs that help Xbox to make more tools to force you to use on Xbox. That's a different thing. With GameFAQs, nobody made any money. The creators, nobody made any money. The only people that made money was GameFAQs themselves with ads that nobody looked at anyway. That was what we
Mhm.
know. That's what we expect. They weren't actually actively taking the content that they were making, putting it in a book and selling it to you. I mean, that's what they used to, not GameFAQs, but that's what some companies did until books became obsolete. But
I wonder if
no.
GameFAQs will get like a revival. Uh,
The the
has says
only the
other
only way
walkthrough sites crumbled.
the only way that I could see Microsoft doing this in an ethical way that I might be able to be okay with, but they'll never do it, is that they get their information the way we got our information, is they would create a bot that played the game and let that bot take notes of its own gameplay. And if it came across something it didn't know, it would look it up, play the game itself, and then relate what it found on the game.
That'd be
And it could
interesting.
probably do it faster. So essentially turn AI not into a scraper for other people's work, turn it into a gamer that's constantly playing the game and taking notes,
Yeah.
a chronicler, a walkthrough creator.
And what's funny is this is something that Sony tried to do with the PS5. If you
Mhm.
remember, the PS5 has a feature where if you open the trophy list, for some games, they will show you a video of how to get that trophy.
Right.
This was in a lot of Astrobot, had this a lot. A lot of naturally the first party Sony games have this a lot. They have video walkthroughs that are developer created to like provide that assistance, but you have to go to the trophy list to do it. And I just don't think it ever really caught on because people don't usually go to the trophy list in like a common gaming session.
Right.
But like this has been something that the first party platform designers have tried to do. Nintendo had their hey, if you're having trouble, we will just automatically have a bot, not an LLM, but just will have, the game play itself to beat this level for you, and then you can take control back and keep playing.
Mhm.
So we've seen people try to do this exact same thing without AI. And there've been different levels of success with that. So I'm interested to see if this is better than those other ways. Does this actually provide something useful? Or try is it just still easier to pick up your phone and Google it? Like at
It'll
a
be
certain point,
Google it.
that is what you're competing against.
The only thing that would, well,
That's right. Nintendo
just
also had a charge helpline way back in the day.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wow, I totally forgot about that. But the only way it will definitely be harder to use for information retrieval because LLMs don't work for information retrieval. Essentially, LLMs that I've had to deal with are really just gatekeepers to keep your to to slow down the amount of people that they are putting through to human beings who can actually solve your problem.
Yeah.
Um, that is one way that it's not going to be faster. The other thing that it won't be faster is that you might Google it, like how to, or you'll probably go to a Reddit forum, maybe, or you might go to GameFAQs. You've got places you already know where to go. It will save you the hassle of going to those places, but it's got to provide better information than what those places would have because it's already easier to get to those places anyway because you just write gamefacts.com and then you put your question in and you got the answer.
Yeah.
That's why I say that if they could marry the two, where the game is playing itself and it is going online into forums and things like Reddit, things like GameFAQs, and seeing what most people have the problem with and doing what we would do. Read through, find the answer that pretty much everybody is saying it working, and then it goes and plays that. So it knows organically, this is how you do it. And either records itself or just that it does it itself and it knows organically instead of just pulling information and then just blurting it out mindlessly. It actually has the experience of playing the game so that when you go, okay, but is it the door on the left or the door on the right? Is it the door with the red mark on it or is the one that's got the blue hue? It can actually speak authoritatively because it has played the game. Then it might become useful. And it's really not stealing information. What it's doing is it's monitoring traffic of what is the most problematic areas and then figuring out the answer before everybody else has the problem. And then essentially it's retrieving the information like a real game walkthrough creator would create the information by going out, finding it itself, playing it itself, and then having that organic information of knowing how to do it because I played it and I've done it like 16 times.
I mean, this would be less of an
Make it a
issue
walkthrough creator. Don't just make it a thief.
if you just made the AI tick the view mark. If you go to a website, they have an ad. That ad tracks how many times the pages load, how many times this ad has been seen. Just make the AI scraper tick that checkbox, and every time an AI scrapes your website, you get credit for it, has a view. Like,
Mm-hmm. That would be good.
Then maybe advertising wouldn't collapse.
Right. Make it a unique view every single time.
All I hear is something Skynet.
You're not wrong, Vice.
Greetings, you beautiful people.
Hi,
Greetings
Vice.
to
How
you
are
too.
you?
Thank you. Oops.
So
Yeah, the scraper
I'll put
idea
it.
isn't a bad idea.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Make it a gamer. Don't make it a thief.
yeah. They had also said in their I don't know if this was the same GDC panel, but they talked about backwards compatibility. How
Mm-hmm.
they are planning something for backwards compatible games later this year. They mainly just talked about making it easier to play games in a new way. And people are speculating that this is most likely trying to get the Xbox, the emulation that works on the Series S console, Series console, that makes Xbox and Xbox 360 games playable on it, will come to PC and allow you to play those Xbox and 360 games and Series games, in theory, on the PC. That
Mm-hmm.
this backwards compatibility step is a way to marry the two operating systems and make Xbox games playable on PC. Which essentially is they're releasing an emulator, which would actually be really incredible. That would go a long way into, I think, easing a lot of people's fears and suspicions about what the next Xbox is and how they could get this system working. It will absolutely open things up to piracy if you're putting an emulator on a PC, but at the very least, it's an emulator for, in theory, Xbox and Xbox 360 games, which are not the hottest new thing, so maybe that's okay. But man, if you could get Xbox 360 games working, like the whole mess of them, accessible and playable perfectly good on a PC, that's a big deal. If you can get that whole library available, that's a huge amount of goodwill, I think, that Xbox would earn, which is kind of what they need. They need goodwill. They need good vibes. The problem is that I guarantee you AI will be involved in this backwards compatibility effort in some way.
Yep, sure will. Yeah, they said, I think this was a different, you're right, it was a different
Okay, it was a
panel.
different panel. Okay.
And they talked about that Xbox plans to re-release an unspecified number of older classic Xbox games as part of its game preservation program. And the quote is, not only is this something that's deeply personal to us, but we feel a deep responsibility to preserve games of the past. And they also said that they wanted to use the latest technology to let people play these older games in quote unquote new ways. As one of the largest publishers in the industry, we feel a deep responsibility for Game of the Past. Some of our most iconic first-party franchises are returning this year. So that sounded to me more like they're re-releasing games, not that they're making games backwards compatible. But they did mention in that particular panel that in the effort to make Windows and Xbox more one thing. I think the quote that they said was, "We're bringing the best of Xbox to Windows itself to make Windows a great OS for games." And something they pointed out, and it's not a horrible thing, is that it is very hard for developers to make a PC game and an Xbox game. You have to develop twice.
Yeah,
For
it's
really
two different platforms.
one platform. One company has two platforms for which they have to do not twice the work, but they have to develop two different games for
Yeah.
it. And with Windows becoming a good operating system for console for games, and with an Xbox that will play Windows that is an excellent operating system for games. So you essentially have one unified platform that you can either have as a PC or as a console. You only have to develop that game once. You only buy one version of the game, you play it both places. And they said that their hope is that most games, maybe not all, will work like this.
Yeah.
And that it's going to integrate with Xbox's existing Play Anywhere program. So you don't have to buy, like I said, two versions of the game to play it on your PC and your console.
Yeah.
And all of that is all great talk, and it all makes a lot of sense. But let's not forget that at the core of this is we want to have Windows on consoles.
Yes.
We want to have our AI on your console. We want to have Bing on your console. Or is it Edge? I forget. Whichever
It's
one
Edge
I
now.
don't use.
No, wait, no. Edge is the Internet Explorer. Edge is the Internet Explorer. Bing is the search engine.
Right. Okay.
Edge uses Bing.
Whatever. Either way, nobody uses either. Not out of choice. The only reason why anyone uses it is because you haven't turned off the preference on your PC yet to use Chrome. Basically, the heart of all of this great sounding stuff is that it is going to be Windows playing games. Windows is not great for playing games. Never has been. And I'll say it, it's not good for playing games, really, ultimately. Even on a PC, it's not a really great way to play games. So Windows, I think they're making a mistake. Because they have to serve. There's a reason why the two were separated. Windows is a platform for business. This runs your Microsoft Word, your Microsoft Excel, your PowerPoint. This is your database. This is where it's useful. But if you put it elsewhere, I'm not even looking at the screen.
Says, "I'm a firm edger." That's what we call ourselves. You know, the people who use the Edge browser.
Really? Are you seriously an edger? Because
Yeah.
it's bad enough
Andrew,
that you have a Hotmail account. You fucking use a Hotmail account, Andrew. I don't respect you right there. I have to actively like hold my gore when I'm trying to like send you an email because I have to send it to Hotmail.
He also says it's not that Windows is bad at running games, Windows just sucks.
Right. Windows sucks.
But what about all the success they had with the Windows Phone?
Exactly. Windows is not great for playing games. It's just not. It's just the only thing we kind of universally have
I know
because
you
our PC
about
we
that.
also use for writing term papers and for doing our taxes. And our work asks us to answer our email and do work there. That's why that we use Windows. If we could use Linux on everything, we would. It's just
So
easier,
the thing
it's
is,
cleaner, it's faster. It's a better system overall.
and the thing
It's
is, like,
more
yes,
secure.
but like there's a reason that Windows became ubiquitous, and it's because you can do all those things.
Right.
And so that's the reason that Windows is everywhere and everyone uses it. Because way back in the 90s, you wanted that. You wanted an operating system that did everything because computers kind of did everything. And you had one desktop computer that you used for everything.
Mhm.
And over time, we started putting out specialized devices that had specialized operating systems for very specific actions. And naturally, those worked better for those specific actions. I do think there is a way to make Windows into a gaming platform. Like, there's absolutely a way to do that. It's not impossible. You just need like a special fork of Windows. You just need the development process to do that. And the question is, how badly do they want it? Because you could do it, it just will take a lot of effort to take the Windows environment and constrain it in a way, especially if their goal is to both give you the freedom of a PC, but also constrain it so that it works as a gaming device. That means, much like Steam Big Picture Mode, Big Picture Mode doesn't stop your PC from being able to do taxes or go online or, watch videos or anything like that. Steam Big Picture is just a front end that you plaster on, and that's how you interact with a very limited scope of it. On the Odin that I have, the handheld, that's basically, it's just an Android phone. Like, it is an Android phone in a shell with controls on the side. But I downloaded an app and said, when you boot up, boot into this app, so that app and that interface is the only way I can interact with anything on the phone, unless I go to settings and say, like, show me the home screen. You could do that with an Xbox. Like, when you boot it up naturally, it boots up into Xbox mode, and that is how you interact with all of the games. And it's a very streamlined, very narrow scope that acts as a console. You could absolutely do that. Steam Big Picture proves that you can do that. It's just, how do they handle the other stuff, and how do they handle the compatibility of Xbox games and PC? Like, this isn't a impossible dream they have. I think the
No,
question is
it's not.
just, does Xbox and does Microsoft have the willingness to put in the effort to actually execute on this well? And that's where all of the questions come from, because Xbox hasn't been able to execute any of their really good ideas for the past several generations. They've had good ideas, but they've all been just a little hobbled
Right, by the
by
Microsoft
themselves.
slash Windows ecosystem that I talk about, their existing Windows
No,
ecosystem
not
that's
that. I think they've been hobbled by other things, by themselves.
by themselves. Right.
I
And
think I
do
said
I
in
have
text,
any
they put out an always online cable box console a generation before always online live service games became super popular and streaming apps became a dominant force. They saw the future. They just got a little too far ahead of themselves, and they put out a console that everyone fucking hated. But
Mhm.
but a cable box console, like, that's basically what these consoles are now. We can put streaming apps on them, and they all cable boxes. They're essentially always online. Like, let's be honest, they're always online. Lots of games are always online. Like, we entered into that world despite fighting against it. Xbox saw the future. They just got a little too excited, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're gonna put this out." But they got ahead of themselves. Game Pass, again, good idea, but it just didn't get the adoption that it needed. It didn't hit that. It didn't break out of the hardcore gamer crowd, and so it kind of flatlined, kind of stagnated, and it just didn't have the explosive growth that they wanted. But it was
Right.
still a good idea. But it's just the market didn't respond, and now they have a good idea of trying to merge Xbox and PC platforms. Will it work? Because if Xbox is anything, Xbox, like Google, loves to start something and they love even more to cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, here's all these products, Windows Phone, Windows Laptop, Zune, here's all this stuff for us, and then we're going to cancel it in a year.
Right. You didn't adopt it and instantly, fuck you, we're taking our toys and we're going home. And then
Exactly.
5 years later, everybody's doing it.
And then 5 years later, they're like, let's try this again. Cancel it. 5
Right.
years later, let's try this again. Cancel it.
Andrew Smith, Chaos, says, okay, I want to say Windows absolutely spent a ton of money to make sure that games were developed first and foremost for Windows. It's their MO to buy exclusivity and then slowly making it worse.
Yeah.
Also, he wanted us to know, how dare you? Hotmail is great. I just got to that part in the conversation because I use the Edge browser. Rick Review says, so are you going to buy the new Xbox? I will buy it if it
if it is a new Connect.
a new Connect.
I would, you know what? I would
buy the new
I would
Xbox?
honestly love it if it had a Connect inside it.
I thought yeah, it would be awesome. In that kind of perverse way of I would never really want it,
Look, man,
but
they
at the
want to
same time, there's a part
go
of me.
back. Asha wants to go back to Xbox's rebellious spirit. There is nothing more rebellious than saying, "Hey, guess what? You didn't like the Connect? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
We're giving it to you again. We're rebels."
That's right. You're gonna like it this time, bitch.
Yeah. Wait, AC Red says, I'm praying I can get a PC before my 3 years of extended Windows 10 service are up. I might need my father to die so I could cash out a bond. Oh, that is dark shit. Jesus.
The will I buy an Xbox? I don't know at this point. I don't know. I'm with Nick. I think that Xbox has a very good record of coming up with not a horrible idea, but an idea that's before its time, so it meets a lot of resistance from us, then not following through. They're also very good at coming up with a good idea and then hobbling themselves by throwing stuff in or just making it really for them and not for
Just like
us.
it doesn't quite work like you wanted it to.
Right. And all three of those AI things that they're talking about are very classic Xbox, why did you even bother moments. And this is the first indication of the thing I said last week, is that they are going to be hobbled by their own ecosystem, by shareholders that insist on putting stuff in, that people in middle management or upper level management saying, you know what would be great here? Let's put this in. And it's not a great idea to put it in, or it would have been a good idea to put it in if it wasn't a Windows product. There's just enough stuff already being said that has me seriously concerned that I don't want this machine with all of this AI kludge, I'll say it, AI slop on it. All of the
You
Windows
hurt
slop
Sad
on
Nutella's
it.
feelings.
I am. I'm making so. Why do you think Sad Nutella's so sad? I am the sad for Sad Nutella. I don't want all of the Windows slop. I don't want all of the things that I really don't trust that they're going to be able to make an operating system that works as well as Linux on a Steam machine. I know
GameHounds is
that it is going to be.
anti-plankers.
We are. Um, I just, as of right now, I have far more faith that Gabe and Valve can make a better working box that does exactly the same thing,
Yeah.
just leaner, faster, more convenient, more efficient, without all of this, what my mother would call geegaw, without all of this geegaw all over it. The bells and whistles that nobody wants and or uses. That's what's going to happen on the Xbox, the next generation Xbox. So do I want it? Probably not, unless they can make a very good argument. I'm sorry that I have a new apartment. Y- y- I've moved. One of the first things I moved over when my old place was no longer usable and I couldn't stay there anymore. One of the first things I did is I moved the PlayStation over to the boyfriend's house. You know what's still sitting there in a pile of square-shaped dirt, of dust that hasn't been touched? I mean, it has a layer of dust on it that is appreciable, actually measurable layer of dust on it, is my Xbox.
Mm,
I've looked at it many times thinking, "Okay, I can take some stuff with me. Do I really wanna take the Xbox? Nah, I don't really. No, I don't want the Xbox, don't need the Xbox. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm sorry I bought that Xbox Series X. It was a waste of money, and I worked my ass off to get it too when it released. I don't. I'm sorry I have it. I'm sorry I didn't sell it right after I had it, and I thought I
mm,
really should sell that thing. I had the conversation with you about it. Really
yeah.
should sell it because I haven't really turned it on. That thing hasn't turned on in 3 years? More
You could
than 3
probably
years.
still get some good money.
I'll probably sell it, and it will be the very, very, very first console that I have sold, and only the second console ever that I got rid of in any way. The only other one being the Wii U that I gave to you. And I'm only by my own laziness is it still sitting there underneath a layer of dust. I'm don't I with the Xbox Series X, it broke in me the cycle of I have to have my PlayStation and my Xbox every new console season. PlayStation, it broke it with me with the PS3. And I
Mm,
ended up getting a PS3 and never turning it on.
yeah, I think a lot of people in the US did.
Right. And then PlayStation got me back with the PS4.
Yep.
Now I am broken from my desire to have a PlayStation and Xbox. I don't feel like I have to have an Xbox in order to be a quote unquote real gamer, a true gamer. That I don't need it. I don't want it. And if it makes a good case, if it makes a better machine for a better price that does more things or does something appreciably different from a Steam machine, I will possibly buy that instead of a Steam machine. But right now, I want a Steam machine. I don't want the Xbox because I don't see it offering anything to me any different. And the things that it does offer different are things I don't really want.
Yeah.
I don't want a stripped down Windows. Not when I would rather have the Linux machine. I don't want AI. I don't want AI generated clips.
It says Edie's a PC gamer now. One of us.
I am one of you now. And, PlayStation. Still love my PlayStation. There's a reason why I brought it over to the house today, and I'm plugging it in tonight, and I'm going to be in that conversation with myself of do I want to play
Hmm.
Toxic Commando on a PC or on a PlayStation or on my PC?
And Vice also said PS3 was his last console. What a trash fire that was. And I was
Mhm.
looking it up too. That when they launched for $600, that's the equivalent of $1,000 today, which is crazy to think that
That's what's
nowadays we're looking at like the next Xbox is gonna be $1,000. That's so much money. Sony did that like 20 years ago.
Right,
They launched a $1,000 console.
and it
Just
received, and what did it do for the PS3 when they launched it at $600? I was there. I was in LA. We weren't allowed to E3, but we were in E3. We were in LA, and we were essentially live casting stuff that was going on at E3 into a business. There was like essentially an arcade that we set up shop in that arcade, and that was where we were doing all of our broadcasting from, was in this arcade that was in LA. So I was sitting there watching it live when they announced it at $600 in a place where I really wish I'd been in the room, but I know in the room I was in, everybody lost their minds, and not in a good way. It was a what the fuck? It was, and that's kind of where we're at now with $1,000 for a machine. That's a sort of a what the fuck moment. By the way, there is discussion that the next Xbox might be $1,000. In fact,
oh yeah,
was it
that's
actually
what made
talked
me
about at GDC?
look it up.
Did they talk about it? What the price?
No, they
Uh,
haven't. Oh, of course, Microsoft's not going to say anything about that.
yeah.
Andrew said, kind of to be fair, real world prices have outpaced inflation like crazy, so life is way more expensive than it was back then for the same amount.
You could find $600 spare cash somewhere
I mean,
in
I did.
your, you
It's
could
just
save up.
I think it was a moment that really spoke to the hubris of Sony back then of like, oh
How
boy,
dare you? How dare you? You
like
have really
we
underestimated.
we're talking about $1,000 consoles today because of a RAM crisis, because of component crisis exploding. Sony did that back then because they just thought they could get away with it.
Mhm. Well, there it was
Also,
hubris.
I think
It was the same hubris that Don Matrick had of, well, if it's too expensive for you, play last generation.
yeah. Um, Andrew also said, oh, where was it?
Oh, that was that.
Oh
You
yeah,
just
no, Giga sounds like a slur.
no.
Grandma
Giga,
Edie was wild.
yeah, no. Yeah, Grandma Edie was her name was Alice. Grandma
Giga,
Alice was, yeah, Giga was like, tchotchkes, the equivalent of tchotchkes. It's like,
a
it's too
showy,
much
gaudy,
Giga.
useless trinket.
Yep, knickknacks. Got it's too much Giga. And
Yeah, AC
that's
Wraith
what
got out with the Dreamcast. Oh yeah, had a PS2 and a hand-me-down Xbox. Yeah, so you were there for the beginning of the consoles. I will say for Xbox, I
yeah.
think the one thing that they have working in their favor
Mhm.
is that because they want to make Windows more Xbox, and because they have the Xbox, Rogue Ally X,
Right?
God, that is a fucking mouthful. Whatever the next Xbox
Their
is, you
naming
know it's going
conventions
to have a
suck.
terrible name.
Yeah.
But the Xbox Rogue Ally X, because they have that, they can roll out these changes to the operating system and basically beta test the next OS for the Xbox. Like all of these questions we have about how the operating system will work, they can beta test that on the handheld that they have.
Mhm.
It's getting updated with the AI upscaling. It's getting the AI clips. It will have with backwards compatibility stuff later this year. It will get the gaming co-pilot later this year. They can use that as an experiment to see, okay, are we working? Are we creating something that people actually like? And that I think it will. They have 2 years because they've said that I don't know if they've said or if rumors, but dev kits for the next Xbox probably won't even begin to go out to people until next year,
2027. Yeah.
2027, which means that we're looking at a late 2027 release, probably for the next Xbox and the next PlayStation.
Mhm.
So they'll probably launch around the same time, end of
Right.
2027. That means they have 2 years to kind of iron out the kinks of this new operating system. And
Which means they
they have
also
a
have to
handheld,
bogart
but they have a
the
handheld that they can experiment on to test all these changes. So
true.
we can actually see in real time their product testing.
Right.
And
And
if it works out, if in 6 months people go, boy, Xbox mode on the Ally X is really fucking good, that will make me more excited for the next Xbox. That
Right.
portends a good thing. If it could go the other way as well, though.
Right. And also, I saw that about being 2027 for when the dev kits go out, and that makes me even more suspicious that they are locking down contracts for chip makers that could possibly be selling chips to Steam or to Valve for the Steam machine. Because
Yes
if
and
the
no.
Steam
I
machine
think
comes out in 2026, that is going to absolutely up the game for Xbox in this
yes.
new box.
I think they already have those contracts. I think they have had those contracts in place for years already.
I
Them
don't think
and
they've
Sony.
had them in there for years. I think that they're going to be making more new contracts for things that they not necessarily need right now. They don't mind having on their shelves. It's not a bad idea.
Mm,
And they could kind of frame it as like, oh, we're buying it for AI. But really, what it is, it's about locking down contracts to edge out Valve from being able to get those contracts
yeah, because Valve
so
has
that
still
it
said they
delays
want
their
to ship in
machine.
26.
They said they're committed. They first said, we hope to release in 2026, which sent a bunch of ripples through everywhere about like, well, maybe they won't come out in 2026. Then they had to backtrack and said, we are optimistic that we will be able, we are committed to releasing in 2026. Well, you can be committed to releasing in 2026 and still have to delay,
Yeah.
not by reasons that you manufactured, but that Xbox manufactured. This even more so put in my head when I heard that number, when I heard that they're not releasing dev kits until 2027, is they are absolutely locking down every contract they could possibly get their hands on so that Valve can't get those contracts and does have to delay to 2027.
Yeah.
Mark my
Yep.
word, we're AC Wraith, you can put this down now. We're not going to see the Steam machine in 2026. I hope that I'm
Okay.
wrong. I don't think we are going to see the Xbox, or sorry, the Steam machine in 2026. We will see it in 2027 because of Xbox dirty tricks.
I don't want to speak those words. I would prefer to see it in 26.
I want to see it in 2026, but I am not happy in saying it. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that that is the case of what's going on behind the scenes is a bunch of dirty tricks.
It would definitely be an interesting 2027 if there was a three-way, Steam Machine, Xbox, and PlayStation all releasing in November 2027. That would be eventful.
That's a cage fight. That is
Yeah,
really a
exactly.
cage match.
AC Red says you already predicted that last episode.
Oh, did I? All right. Well, now I'm even more committed to that. Is that it's if they can put if Xbox can, it will absolutely push the Steam machine out to 2027.
Yeah.
Especially, and you're right that this Rogue Ally, Xbox Rogue Ally Series X. Is
No,
that what
no
it was?
series.
Xbox Rogue
Xbox
Ally X.
Ally. Yes. Xbox.
Xbox Rogue Ally X. You're right. And I didn't really think about that it's the new FSE is not great, but that doesn't mean that they can't iterate it. And while they're iterating on it, they are learning lessons for what the FSE equivalent will be on the next Xbox.
Mhm.
It's a sandbox for them that they
Yeah.
can constantly keep working on until they get it right.
So, congratulations to the people that bought the Xbox Rogue Ally X. You became beta testers.
Beta testers. That is true.
$1,000 to be a beta tester. Which
Listen,
honestly, like really, that's what
it.
all new
Elon
technology is.
Musk's he perfected that, making us all of his test drivers, and we're all paying $60,000 to be his test drivers for his full self-driving, which can't
Yeah,
be
that's
called
true.
full self-driving anymore because it's not. By the way, I had an update on the Tesla that they called it optimization improvements or functionality, something nebulous, like something improvements. And what it was
Mm-hmm.
is it changed everywhere that they called the full self-driving, the FSD,
Yeah.
no longer is FSD anymore.
What is
It's
it called?
driver assist
Mm,
because they got into a very bad lawsuit where people died because
mm?
it's not full self-driving. It isn't and should never have been used as that, but because people died using that as full self-driving when they were driving drunk.
Okay. Well, nice to know that they finally changed the name. That took forever.
Yeah, it did. Well, it took forever because it took a lawsuit and people dying.
Yeah.
A
But
lot.
yeah, a
Not
lot
only
of
that, a lawsuit that had discovery where documents were released to the prosecution that were emails about how it's really not full self-driving, but we're going to call it that anyway.
boy, talk about a smoking gun.
Yeah, yeah. I forget what it was a guy, it was like a doctor or something that wrapped his car around a tree and died. And they were trying to get the black box information off of the Tesla, and Tesla would not release they released some stuff, but they didn't release all of the information that was on the box. And
Mm.
of course, the lawyers for the prosecution were like, this isn't all the information. We need all the information. You've got it, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, but it's really not accessible by us. It's like, oh, yeah, it's accessible by us. They hemmed and hawed for literally years. And took something like 5 or 6 years before they finally released the information and found out that it was the Tesla, that him being in full self-driving and the Tesla full self-driving failing that ended up him being in a crash. Now, did it change the fact that the guy was drunk and shouldn't have been using it that way? No. But it was the
But
judge finally coming down and say, you need to release all the information. And yes, you do have it available. And if you don't, I will find your entire company in contempt of court and I will come down on you like a ton of bricks. And finally, they did release it, but it took something like 5 years.
Vice says that the Tesla assisted driving isn't even legal over here anyway. Where are you, Vice? That it's not legal. Says literally it was deemed unsafe for public traffic. They filtered out the screaming of the people trying to deactivate the computer.
What? Yeah,
Germany.
where?
Yeah,
Oh, you're
Germany
in Germany.
does
I didn't
not.
know that. Yeah, I could see Germany not doing it.
Germany does not like Tesla anymore.
Well, Germans also have the Autobahn, which
Yeah,
is
they care
not.
about their roads.
It's like right. Well, it's our freeway on steroids, and
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
fuck up on the Autobahn, you can kill a lot of people when you're driving that fast. And Vice, Germans are the best drivers, no questions.
That
Compared to
road.
United States, compared to anywhere that I've been in South America, compared to Canada. Canada, they're nice, but they're not good. Certainly better than
Interesting
anybody else in the
distinction.
EU.
I
Germans
know.
are really good drivers.
He says, I know.
Yeah, they are. That's the safest you will ever be traveling as fast as you possibly can is on an Autobahn in Germany. Statistically,
Says we have a big Tesla
everyone
in
in Germany
Oh,
should be
yeah,
dead based on how fast they drive on the Autobahn.
it is what it is.
Oh.
But yeah, so Xbox, interesting place. I think it's funny that what I thought was an aggressive timeline for implementing AI was not even close. I was so far off. I was like 6 months. It took 1 month.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of did.
But at the I'm optimistic that at least we will be able to see the progress they are making with the Xbox, the handheld. So, we don't have to just wait 2 years to see what they put out. We will get to see incremental progress. It's like an episode of TV instead of waiting for a movie to come out.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Was there anything else?
Yes,
from GDC
that's all.
you had?
That's all that I had pretty from GDC. That's
Okay.
most of it. So my next item, because I have essentially, well, you have one item that I don't have. No, let's let you end that.
Okay.
We'll end on yours. My next item is, let's see, we talked about, let's see, GDC. Let's go by what the title is. The title of the show is Scammers and Helix and Boycotts. Oh my. Well, we started with Helix, so let's go to scammers. So the FBI in the United States here is investigating the developers of 7 malware-infested games that were released on Steam last year. The name of the games specifically are, there we go. Here are the games: Block Blasters, Chemia, Dashverse Dash FPS, Lampy, Lunaria, Pirate FI, and I think it's Pirate Fi, and Tokenova. So these were Steam games that were embedded with malware. This is according to the statement on the FBI's official website, fbi.gov. The FBI believes that the threat actors, they called them actually threat actors. The threat actors, actor, singular, primarily targeted users between the time frame of May 2024 and January 2026. Now, again, the curious part about this is they said singular actor, meaning that there
Yeah.
might possibly only be looking at one entity or one. I don't think they're looking at one person. I think they're looking at one group.
Yeah, well, because I assume these games weren't all put out by the same developer publisher.
No.
At least not according to Steam, but there could absolutely be one person just with different names publishing through Steam.
Right, or it's actually what is being suggested by inference is that it is a group that was after the same crypto scam Telegram group that was, well, Block Blasters was tied to a crypto scam Telegram group. Or I should say a group that was also involved with a Telegram group that was involved with another separate crypto scam. So these are a group of scammers. How big that group is, don't know. Could be 2, could be 5, could be 20. Who knows? But the one of the games that they mentioned was at least tied to a group that had been involved previously with a crypto scam. And the reason why Block Blasters was known was because it kind of got notoriety for being infested with malware because there was a streamer, Rivo Planix, who is known as Rostaland TV, did a cancer fundraising stream on Twitch and was playing Block Blasters. And in the process of that fundraising scheme was essentially had $32,000 stolen from the fundraising because of the malware in that game. So that happening got the internet very upset, which tracked down conversations between the scammers behind that game, where they stated in their own personal conversation on Telegram that Rostaland would simply, quote, make it back in a few hours. So it wasn't that big a loss to steal $32,000. So that has now been elevated to the level of the FBI is looking into this and calling them, what was it? What was it named? Threat actor. And according to the FBI, this was a Steam malware investigation alert, was made public on March 11th. They are asking those that may have been affected by any of those games, may have actually been scammed or had money lost or been negatively affected by Block Blasters, Chemia, Dashverse Dash FPS, Lampy, Lunaria, Pirate Fi, or Tokenova. They're asking them to come forward voluntarily, and that the victims of these Trojan horse infected scams might be, quote, eligible for certain services, restitution, and rights under federal or state law. So if you played any of those games and had that Trojan horse launched and lost money or were otherwise negatively affected by those games, the FBI absolutely wants to talk to you. But in the meantime, it looks like the FBI is taking very seriously this group of scammers that launched a bunch of Trojan horse malware into Trojan horse malware infested games onto Steam.
See,
Which
this is a Steam
honestly,
investigation I can get behind,
yeah, true.
unlike the other lawsuit.
Right. And I think that Steam very much needs to worry about that more with the
I
Steam
could agree
machine
with
coming
that
out.
because
Like it
yes,
used to be, but
because
okay, it
they
affected just a few people because they were small games and a lot of people didn't get them, and it happens because there's a lot of PCs, there's a lot of customers. But if that starts happening on your console,
okay, this raises a really interesting question for Valve because one of the things they prided themselves on is their light touch when it comes to publishing games because they want to be kind of agnostic where
mhm,
we just want to be a place for all games to come out. Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo especially are way more curated. Even though there's a lot
mhm,
of slop on there, there's a lot of ripoffs on there. They are in theory more curated.
yep.
With Valve trying to become a console and with Xbox trying to become PC, will we see a PCification of consoles where now there is a bit less curation and so you do have a risk of malware coming onto your console? Or will the curation come to PC and we'll see Valve get more strict with the games that it puts out? Like, which way is this going to go?
That I would say is a legitimate concern because I didn't really think about this until just now about how Valve
Mm.
really doesn't monitor what it has on its system and kind of
Yeah.
takes a certain level of like
Like a
scams,
hands-off
malware.
approach. It's like, yeah,
Like,
we're gonna
hey,
put stuff out and
right. Yeah, know what you're downloading. It's a little bit of a Dodge City out there when it comes to small games like that.
yeah. Hey, if you get scammed, just tell people about it. Word of mouth.
Yeah, right, right. I, I there's a part of me that says I would rather play potentially dangerous malware infested games on a console that has absolutely nothing to do with my PC
Yes, yeah. That in
because I'm
theory
not going to
doesn't
have my
have your
banking
tax
information.
information.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to have my banking information on my console.
You'll
So
at least
there
have
is
a
that
credit
makes it
card though.
safer. True. Um,
Yeah.
I think that
Uh,
Valve does need to worry about that if they want this to be in living rooms.
see, this is why you
Because
always
also,
have a PlayStation and a Xbox/Steam machine. You have one closed environment and one open environment.
mm, true.
You just
Now,
always have both.
yeah,
Unless Tim Sweeney gets his way.
how does that affect anything?
No, because he's the head of Epic. He's fighting for open
Oh,
platforms.
right.
I think.
Open
Oh,
doors, open walls,
yeah.
open bedrooms, open
Google
bathrooms.
Google takes less of a cut now. They can't force people to use Google Pay.
Yeah, I am that is a reservation I would have is on the Steam machine is that it is a more dangerous machine unless they start doing a better job of curating
Yeah.
what is available on that console.
Just don't download a game that doesn't have any reviews.
Yeah, true. And I'm, blessedly have only been downloading games that I've heard a lot of people talking about and how wonderful they are and not
Yeah.
doing those individual one-offs.
They
But
come
you
from
are
respectable
absolutely doing
people.
individual one-off games and could absolutely do that.
Yeah, I mean, look, the stuff that I get too though, like Esoteric Ebb, that had a review in PC Gamer.
Mhm.
That's a level of
Right.
I don't know, authoritative, like, hey, this
Mhm.
game is good. Don't worry about it.
But console users have never ever actually had to worry about malware on their console.
No, you do have to worry
Really?
about scams.
You have to worry about
I
scams,
did
but the
I did
scams
get
usually come from
scammed.
the Oh,
Um,
really?
there's a game on PC that's
Mhm.
like called, I don't know what it's called, but it's a body camera shooter game that's known for having
Yeah.
hyper realistic graphics.
You told me about that, and it looked really interesting.
Yes, and on PlayStation, like this happened several months ago. There's a game called Body Camera Shooter.
Mhm.
And I saw it, I know it was on sale for like $2. And so I thought, oh yeah, I'll check this one out for $2. Booted it up. It is an absolutely piece of trash not even a multiplayer game. It's like there was an AI that was walking into a fence and I tried to shoot it, but it didn't work, and then I died. I don't know how. Never booted it up again. But there's and then there's a recent sale I was browsing through and I saw another that was like body camera shooter. So it's like, okay, there are some scams at that. They're not malware. They're not going to take your
Right.
information, but they are just bad games mimicking a good
Good
game.
games. Yeah, yeah,
To be fair, they're all reviews on the PS Store. And if I had scrolled down to look at the reviews, I would have seen 1 star, like the line of 1 star is everything. Like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, I shouldn't buy this.
Yeah. But that's different than actually having to worry about malware.
Yes,
Yeah,
and what I'm saying is
console
that's
players are
the
not used
biggest
to actually
thing.
thinking about.
That's the most you have to worry about with consoles now, is kind of being tricked into buying a shitty game. And
Mhm.
like I only got scammed out of
Or
$2.
or responding to, like, the people wanting to be your friends, like,
Oh,
"Hi, be my
yeah.
friend," and then, they start sending you pictures, inappropriate pictures and things like that.
Oh, Body Cam is the PC game that is the actual proper hyper realistic shooter game. Body Cam. Anything else is just a scam.
So what was that movie that your parents bought that was a scam movie on
Oh
Jurassic
god.
Park?
They wanted to see Jurassic Park Rebirth, but they rented Jurassic Rebirth.
Yep.
It's the Asylum Pictures.
Mhm.
Look,
Yeah, I
that
wanted to see
it
Das
fucking
Boot.
works. It fucking works.
I wanted to watch Das Boot, and I downloaded Das Booty,
That's a
which
very
is a
different
real porn.
movie.
Yeah, the real porn name, Das Booty.
You're watching this going like, wow, this is the critically acclaimed submarine movie? Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't
no.
expecting that.
What were some of the what was it? Porn
Transmorphers, I remember, is a famous one
titles, based off, let's see, funny porn titles.
based off
Uh,
movies.
movies, off real movies. Real
Um,
movies. There was one for Harry Potter that
oh,
let's
I'll
see.
bet.
There we go. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Balls.
Okay. Although it's hard to get that one mixed up, I would think.
Glad he ate her. And
Oh, for Gladiator. Okay.
Raiders of the Lost Arks.
Oh, that one you could mistake. That's
Yeah.
a mistake you could make.
Lord of the G Strings. The female ship of the string.
The female ship of the string? Oh, Fellowship of the Ring. Okay.
Umbrella, right. Pulp Friction.
That's one that could fool you. Andrew says
See, they have
GameHounds, the
Forrest.
family friendly podcast. No, we are not family
We
friendly.
never said
We
we're family
we have
friendly.
never advertised ourselves as family friendly.
Yeah, this one lists Forrest Hump, and I know for a fact that
Mm,
the best one of
it's
that
pretty
is
good.
Foreskin Gump.
Okay, that's also
Foreskin Gump.
good.
Yeah. Lo
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know if I can say it out loud. Lawrence of my labia.
That's good. I like that one.
That's very good. Drill Bill Volume 1.
Oh.
Edward Penis Hands. I've heard of that one.
Okay.
Rimming in the Rain. Legally Boned. Ask Ventura, crack detective. I've heard of Goodwill Humping.
Oh yes, yeah, that's classic. Award winning.
Yeah. So, you could easily make a mistake. Be glad that all your parents got was a bad movie and not a porn movie. Awkward.
Oh, okay, what's a Jurassic Park porn name? Do I really want to Google this?
Jurassic Park porn name. I will take the bullet for you. Let's see. The Jurassic World porn parody that asks, "What if dinosaurs were porn stars?"
Oh, but that's not the name.
Jurassic Wood Swollen Ding Dong.
Oh, that's eh.
Jurassic porn.
That just feels lazy.
Yeah. Well, so does Edward Penis Hands.
I mean, at least they stuck it. At least they got it in the title.
Let's see. Was it?
I found one, Jurassic Brothel. Again.
It's so funny. You were the ones that told me about Rule 34, and here it is mentioned. Rule 34. Rule 34 has struck the summer's biggest box office smash. Jurassic World has been turned into porn.
Oh, absolutely.
Jurassic World.
That is better. That is good. There we go. Oh, yes. Oh, there's got to be some Indiana Bones.
Oh, of course.
Okay, Jurassic. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, that's some quality title work right there.
Anyway, moving right along.
What's the next story?
The next story is shrinkflation. That is
okay.
not
Are we still talking
euphemism.
about? No,
We are. We are talking about shrinkflation. So, two major shrinkflation stories this week. The first one is that
shrinkage
Fortnite players are calling for a boycott of Fortnite because Epic has shrinkflated V-Bucks as of this week. So, it was announced earlier this week that the Epic was going to make V-Bucks more expensive, not by making the actual price you pay more expensive, but by making the amount of V-Bucks you get for that price less. $9 used to get you 1,000 V-Bucks. Coming soon, $9 will get you 800 V-Bucks. The price.
What is the average price of something on the store?
I don't know. So, according to Epic, quote, "The cost of running Fortnite has gone up a lot, and we're raising prices to help pay the bills." This is coming from a multi-billion-dollar studio. So yeah, the Fortnite OG Battle Pass will now cost 800 V-Bucks instead of 1,000, but everything else is going to stay the same. There's no adjustment for prices on the shop cosmetics. So your $9 is going to still be able to pay for your Battle Pass, but it may or may not be able to pay for the same cosmetics that you were purchasing before. It may currently now, but it won't maybe later.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hang on.
So understandably, the Fortnite community is not happy. In fact, somebody wrote, "You cut our V-Bucks, we cut your funding," wrote one Redditor, and has launched a petition which does nothing. But there is a call on both Reddit and X for a Fortnite boycott on March 19th, a one-day shutdown of Fortnite for the day as a protest to the change in the pricing scheme for V-Bucks,
Okay,
which
yeah. So
isn't a bad idea.
What did you say? You said that 1,000 V-Bucks was $9.
800 now $9 is going to get 800 V-Bucks instead of 1,000.
Okay, Because I remember listening to Remap this week. They had mentioned that recently Epic changed the amount slash price of the bundles. Essentially, before the change, they did the typical Xbox Live points thing where, oh, the average skin is 2,000 V-Bucks. You'll get 900 V-Bucks. So that's the lowest bundle you could buy. So to get that skin, you had to buy 3 bundles and then have a bunch of points left over, because then you would come back to the store to spend those points. They recently changed that so that now you could buy in bundles of what things actually cost on the store. So, oh, I want the skin for 1,000 V-Bucks. I'm going to buy 1,000 V-Bucks. And you could get that skin without getting anything extra. Now they're lowering the amount you get to go back to that old method, so that now when you buy, the lowest you can buy will get you 800 points, but a skin is still 2,000 points. So you'll have to buy 3 bundles instead of 2 and have points left over. So they started out being kind of scummy, then they fixed it, and then they went back to being scummy.
Right. So that's why the Fortnite boycott has been called. It is called for March 19th.
Let us buy it with fucking cash. Just let us pay fucking cash. Just put it in
Yeah.
dollars. Just yes.
Dollars are old school.
God.
They want you to buy V-Bucks because you have to buy a lot more of them. But so that would be next Thursday. And then they're calling for a 1-day blackout of gameplay for Fortnite. So I think that's a good idea. I don't know that they'll be able to get a lot of people on, but I think that it is important at a certain point for any players of these live service games to force companies to recognize that who has the power in the games is not the company, it's the players. It's a bit like a voter revolt. That sometimes you need to remind the people that are representing you who actually carries the power. And if they can actually black out Fortnite for a day, would it bankrupt Epic? No, absolutely not. Oh, you're muted.
There we go.
It would not bankrupt Epic, but it would put the fear of God into them that players could get organized enough to black them out, that it could happen to them. And I think that companies like Epic need to be reminded of that.
Yeah.
If you can shut them down for 1 day, I mean, truly shut them down, like pull everything back so the only thing that they get is a trickle. If you could do that for 1 day, it would appreciably change the behavior of Epic. And to that same note, another bit of shrinkflation this week is Amazon. Amazon has now shrinkflated Prime Video. If you want to, and I forget the day of this, I think I've got the day. So like later on this month, March 13th. So that was Friday. Amazon announced that it's going to rebrand. Currently, if you have Amazon Prime Video, if you want it to go ad-free, it's $3 a month. And that ad-free included 4K and everything else. You just got the same as before, but it was ad-free. Now, they announced that they are changing it. The option that removes ads is also going to be called Prime Video Ultra. And it will remove ads. It's $5 a month. It removes ads, but it allows 4K streaming access. So if you want to watch anything with or without ads in 4K, you must pay the extra $5 for the Amazon Prime Ultra video, and it will be ad-free. So you can only get 4K ad-free.
Yeah. And what's frustrating about this is that what Amazon has always done with Prime is increase the price, but also taking away features at the same time, which is the worst way to do it. At least when Netflix raises the price, they're just like, hey, we're raising the price of everything. Fuck you.
Mhm.
Amazon is like, hey, guess what? You get Prime for free. Isn't that a great deal?
Well,
Now you
free
can,
because it's
well,
not free.
no,
You still have to
going
pay.
back, going
Okay.
back. Oh, hey, Prime Video is free with your Prime subscription. You get the 2-day delivery and you get all this video content. Isn't that awesome? You're going to keep getting that, but now you're going to see ads. If you don't want ads, you got to pay extra. So it's like, take the thing people are already getting, make it worse, and then charge them more to get back to that default. Now, okay, you watch it with ads, you got used to that. Now, that tier used to be able to stream in 4K, not anymore. We're going to put that on the paid tier while also increasing the paid tier. So we're not actually adding anything for the increased price. We're just taking stuff away and increasing the price,
Mhm.
which is like just a double fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and I mean, you could watch 4K games with or 4K movies with ads, and that was free with Amazon
Yeah,
Prime.
that used to be
Yeah, up until and what is the date that this is
until the
happening?
13th. You said
April 10th.
10th.
So Amazon Ultra option is going to go live in the United States on April 10th. So Prime members are still going to have access to all the same shows and movies, just not in 4K anymore. So if you want it in 4K, you have to pay $5 and it'll get it ad free, but you get it in 4K. And if you're on the
But what's
$3
frustrating is
option, you
yes,
aren't going to get your ad free anymore. You have to pay an extra $2 and also get
but
4K.
like it already does in 4K. I assume, right?
Yeah. Right.
Like I
Right now, it's 4K is free,
right now I
but you get it
am
with ads, or
right
you
now
pay
we
$3 to get it without ads.
yes, we pay for the no ads. I want to
Right.
watch Fallout without ads. So we pay for that. I'm not getting anything more. You're getting 4K streaming. No, it was already streaming for it. You're just raising my price while fucking over the people that paid less.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but
Fucking
good news,
Amazon.
they said they're doing this so that they don't have to increase the price of Prime. Because I forget what they said. They said almost something identical to what Epic said. Oh, there it is. Delivering ad-free streaming with premium features requires significant investment. And this structure aligns with our other major streaming services while ensuring customers have the flexibility to choose how they want to watch.
You know what? They got to pay for
It's
all that AI
expensive.
investment.
Right. Jeff Bezos has got to pay for his girlfriend to go to the moon a couple of times, right?
Oh wait, I
Sorry,
do like
his wife. I'm sorry, Jeff Bezos' wife with their
no
over the
wait,
top
no they
wedding that
divorced.
took a year.
They
N-
divorced.
No, that's his first wife.
Oh, okay. He remarried. Also, I think it's funny that we keep talking about Jeff Bezos. He's not the CEO anymore, right? I thought
No,
he
but
stepped down. Who's the new guy?
I don't know
Like
who's the
we should
CEO.
give credit where it's due, criticism where it's due. Who's the new CEO?
Yeah.
Whose name should we be dragging through the mud?
It's Kriga says, I'm tired, boss. I don't want this no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, who
Oh,
is?
Andy Jassy is the president and CEO of Amazon, a position he has held since July 2021, taking over from Jeff Bezos, who is still the executive chair. Which is
Yeah.
not to say that like we shouldn't drag Jeff Bezos' name through the mud. We absolutely should.
Absolutely
But
Jesus' name
let's
from the mud.
add Andy Jassy to that list.
Let's see. Jeff Bezos wedding.
There was something like with Katy Perry in the wedding, right? I remember seeing news
Yeah,
stories
yeah,
about
no, yeah.
that.
Katy Perry was in the wedding, and she was also one of the people that went up on that
Oh,
all
the Blue
girl.
Origin. That's right. The
Yeah,
rocket.
yeah, yeah. The
That's
rocket
right. It
ship.
was
That's what
like
I'm saying. He had to send his girlfriend up to
she went
space a
up
couple more
on
times.
that. Oh, that's right. You were literally that literally fucking happened. Oh my
Mhm.
god.
Mhm. He sent his girlfriend into space with Katy Perry,
I
and they're
can't
empowered. They did that for me
wait.
to empower me as a woman.
Andrew says we can't just let Andy Assy slide in the shadow of Bezos.
That's true, Andy Assy. We're getting quite the menagerie, aren't we?
Yeah, we got some food. We've got I already see Jeff Bezos is just like a pool ball. On a t-shirt, it's just a pool ball.
A
Pool ball, a pool ball, like
Oh,
you know,
pool cue. Yeah, like right.
yeah, the
Billiards
white
ball.
ball.
A
Yeah,
billiard
billiard
ball.
ball. That's Jeff Bezos. Billiards.
Billiards,
Um,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
obviously
I can see
Andy
that.
Assey is a walking ass.
Oh,
He's just a walking
absolutely.
asshole.
Like the asses from Monty Python's Flying Circus, the ones that
Oh
blow
yeah.
the trumpets,
So
asses on
we've got
legs.
our food groups, we've got our body parts, we've got our food CEOs, our body part CEOs.
All of these have to show up in Ookie Bookie Spelookie.
Oh, absolutely.
They
No,
all have to be characters in Ookie Bookie Spelookie.
yes, they're all characters in Bookie Spelookie. Then Ookie Bookie Spelookie 2 is a fighting game where we have all of them fight each other like Super Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm down for that. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the two shrinkflation stories of this week. I'm
That
sure
that
not
all
the only
sucks.
ones, but yeah. Um, let's see, what's my
Shrinkflation,
last
enshittification,
thing?
like
Yeah.
just services taking away features and making things worse while charging you more.
So we've come to the not bad news part of the podcast, which is
Okay. Oh, I
Nick's.
actually have another
Oh,
not
you know
bad
what we
news
forgot to do?
story.
You know what? Let's stop here. Let's take a quick break because I forgot to take a break earlier. Let's take a break and we'll come back with the good news part, which is like literally just one story, but the good news for the week. So we'll be right back after this. Ready to come back?
Mhm.
And we're back. All right. The
Hello.
good news part of the podcast. Nick, please give me some good news.
Okay, I got a couple good news ones, and we'll start.
Okay.
We've been talking a lot of shit about AI. A
Mhm.
lot of bad things.
Rightfully so.
But you know what's good?
Mm-hmm.
When AI gets replaced with actors. So
Good. Tell
Arc
me more.
Raiders, Arc Raiders, the extraction shooter put out by the developers of the finals, infamously was launched with AI voices, and the finals did this too. They didn't have actors being announcers; they had AI doing it. And Arc Raiders continued that, where they had AI voiceover for just all of the characters. Now, Arc Raiders has been successful enough that the developers have gone back and have now replaced, quote, most of the dialogue with actual actors. And the
Yeah.
CEO has said, let's see, his exact quote is, "We re recorded some of the lines post launch and made them with real voices. There is a quality difference. A real professional actor is better than AI. That's just how it works."
Really? Insane. Oh my God.
Yes, he said
Revelation.
we
Stop the
we look at
presses.
we look at AI first and foremost as a production tool. We can test things internally. We can test 15 different lines without recording them, blah, blah. Goes on to justify using the AI. But then, the game did launch with using those AI voices. So in
Mm-hmm.
theory, you take him at his word. It's a production tool that meant operators kind of launched not fully featured, but at least they are going back. They're not just rolling with their success and keeping the voices. They're actually paying for actors, which is
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah. And also put something on the screen that should also make you feel good. And I did not report on the story because I didn't read the whole story. And I will read it later, cackling my entire way through it. But I'll put this on the screen so you can enjoy it. Out of
Oh,
Kotaku today, venture capitalists shocked and sad about how much gamers hate IA. Sorry, did I say
hey,
IA? Wow, maybe I do need AI. How much gamers hate AI. Folks with money tied to Anthropic and Nvidia blame job losses for low approval.
I did see that. That I think in the article they specifically said, "Oh, usually gaming is more welcoming of new technology."
Hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
we
They're
we
like, oh,
welcome
AI is
it.
going to be great. Didn't we tell you? Oh, you don't believe us? How? Why? AI is going to be great, guys. It's going to
Look,
be fantastic. What is
we
wrong with you? I am shocked and sad at how stupid you are.
we love AI. I remember back when Halo came out and people made a big deal about how if you threw a grenade, the AI aliens would jump out of the way. Like they would dodge grenades, they would flank you. I remember when Fear first came out, a lot of big deal was made about how smart the enemies were, and like they would do military tactics to try to flank you on the
Mhm.
sides. We
Mhm.
like AI. It's all the Gen AI. And
Yeah.
it is funny that like the the revelation is like maybe it's all the job losses that's making people not like it. Maybe firing a bunch of people was the wrong move.
Yeah, well, and I'm reading from it, and this was a survey of game industry workers that was released right before GDC that showed that only 7% of respondents described generative AI as quote unquote good for the industry. So, um, the Moritz Bayer Lentz, who is a member of or the head of Lightspeed Venture Partners, who is an investor in Anthropic and other AI companies, said that he's shocked and sad about the negativity surrounding AI. And um, he says that he's hoping that skeptics one day come to see the truth that AI is a marvelous new technology. And in that same report, Bayer-Lentz suggested that one of the reasons for the pessimism that for AI is the layoffs. That's the problem. You just don't like people being laid off, but trust me, this is going to be amazing. It is a marvelous news technology. So, yeah, he's shocked and sad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked and sad that we can't make him more money. Hmm. What a sad little man. Ooh. Yeah. So,
So in other good news,
another good news.
that has nothing to do with AI.
Mm-hmm.
Uh modders for where is it? Ubisoft actually does something good. They are working with well, I shouldn't say Ubisoft is working with modders. Modders are working with Ubisoft and Valve to update the classic game Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, which
God, I don't
is
even remember that one.
definitely worth playing because this was an early game made by Arcane Studios, who did Prey, who did Dishonored, who did Redfall, and were then unceremoniously shut down by Microsoft.
What was
This is
it? Dark? What's it called? Dark?
Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. This is a classic immersive sim open world game, kind of set in a D&D fan. I think it's D&D. It's best thought of as like a proto Skyrim. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is like it and Morrowind existed at the same time, and it was famous for
Nope.
allowing you to
Yeah.
solve problems in lots of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so imagine Skyrim crossed with Dishonored. Uh, so it's a classic game. There's a lot of love for it. Modders have been modding it in order to make it playable on current operating systems for the past several years. So, whenever there's a new operating system, they mod the game to make it playable for that. Now, they are working with Valve, or Valve gave them access to the latest Source 1 SDK in order to just fully port the whole game to the Source engine to make it, instead of having to patch it to make it playable over and over and over again, just port the whole game to Source. And then they actually got direct code access from Ubisoft. And one of the modders was allowed to visit Ubisoft Montreal to help get elements of the console version working on a PC. So basically, people at Valve and people at Ubisoft are working with these modders to mod the game in such a way that makes it playable on modern platforms.
I have never understood why companies like Ubisoft, with IPs that are no longer on games that are no longer being updated, have not embraced the modder community. They literally do good work,
Mm-hmm.
they work tirelessly, and they work for free. It is the perfect situation. It's goodwill, and they do it for free, and they all do very good work at it. I've never seen a bad mod. And if a bad mod is done badly, then somebody else will come back and make it a good mod.
Yeah, there are plenty of bad mods. It's just
It's
that they don't get
slave
traction.
labor, and it's the same as the whole thing that gaming was founded on, is that people will work cheap or for free because they love it. That's the whole QA testing. That's how QA testing started. You were expected to work long hours for free, for no benefits, just to say that you were working on the game, and people did it. And it was only after they all started to get a little bit uppity and started to unionize that they started to be treated like actual real professionals. But even so, in the QA world, there's a ton of people who don't work, like work dirt cheap in the hopes of actually getting a permanent position as a QA tester. This is what modders are. They're even below QA testers. They literally will work for free for years making a mod to bring an old game into a new playable iteration. I don't know why more companies like EA, Ubisoft, Activision, Nintendo allow this to happen. It's stupid, just stupid that they wouldn't.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know.
and now you say that, I think it's funny. Slight digression that modders in like the PC gaming world famously do a lot of work for free. And
Mhm.
mods for, any Twitch streamer or for any Reddit famously do a lot of work for free. Just
Mhm.
these two jobs in kind of completely different areas, but they're both called mods.
Mods.
Mods always work for free. It doesn't matter
Mhm.
where you mod, whether you're modding a game or whether you're modding a stream, you're doing a lot of work for free.
Let's ask AC Wraith.
Mods.
AC Wraith, our community mod, our link mod.
Yeah.
How you doing? You
Oh,
feel
he
you
also
feel abused?
the mod is doing his job, working for
Mhm.
free, and saying, speaking of unions, more good news. I don't know what.
Yeah, this one. Unions band together to launch a new game industry conference by workers for workers.
Oh,
I
cool.
did not hear about this, so you can look that up while I check in with our mod. AC Wraith, how you doing? You feeling okay? Working for free all these years? Abused? Underappreciated?
No, that's from 2025.
Was it?
Yeah, Game Workers launch industry-wide union. That was from March 1925.
Are you sending us old stuff? I mean, I'd
Oh, wait,
fire
what did
you, but you
he
don't work for us.
rally together to launch? Oh, that's industry conference.
Yeah,
That's
industry
a
conference. Yeah, he says he works for musical equipment. Yeah, that's true. You do work
that
for you
that's
work for
true. You
guitars.
you you have given him. He's
I
been
treat
paid.
my mods very well. I bought dinner for our old community manager. Remember? We had dinner for him the other night with him. Actually, no, I didn't buy dinner. I bought my own dinner. I didn't make him pay for me. How about that? There you go. Benevolent overlord.
Oh, here we go. Finally. Yeah, the
This game looks
GWC.
awesome, by the way. This
Oh, Dark
Messiahs of
Messiah
Light.
of Dark Messiah of Might and Magic is awesome. I rented
It
it.
looks
I rented it for
awesome.
Xbox on a weekend, like 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah, because it's from
And
2006, so it's 20
yeah,
years ago.
I remember having a blast with it.
This looks really,
I
really,
never,
really
yeah, the
good.
thing is, I never bought it. This is one of the games that I wanted to, when I got the Odin, I was like, I want to get all these PS2 games and stuff. This is one of the ones I wanted to play. Never went back and played it, but it's on my list because it's like, if you like Dishonored, it's one of those games, but in a more Skyrim setting.
This fully is giving me Skyrim vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's giving me, yeah, 2026, you would never have a character that looked like that.
Oh yeah, with the high slit in her dress, and she specifically sticks her leg out a little bit just to emphasize the high
Right, and
slit.
she's barely clothed and has gigantic gazongas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
very
That
2006.
defy gravity. nothing holding them up, but a piece of cloth, but apparently that's enough to make them reach for the heavens.
Of course.
Yeah. It does point up how much we haven't made a lot of progress, but we have made some, and I am not undervaluing the progress we have made.
Hopes and dreams hold them up.
Yeah. Apparently those pretty good hopes and or dreams.
Look, it's a fantasy world. It's magic. Duh.
Duh.
So yes, this is from GameDeveloper.com. The Game Workers Conference is an entirely new game industry event made by and for the countless workers who make this massively influential industry and artistic medium succeed. Let's see. They are going to announce sessions leading up to the event. Where is it? Oh, it will be held online Friday, May 22nd to Saturday, May 23rd this year.
Oh, nice.
Organizers will also host optional watch parties at physical venues in LA, Montreal, and New York.
No,
New
San
York City,
Francisco.
not New York City.
Interesting. Interesting. I may try to want to hold one in in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
In Silicon Valley. That's
it
going
is
right
all-
to the heart of it. Go to Silicon Valley.
That's true. It is all online though, so we could watch
Right.
any of their streams.
Do you want to go rent out Mountain Mike's Pizza?
Ooh, I could go for Mountain Mike's Pizza.
You could go rent out Mountain Mike's Pizza and watch it there on El Camino. AC Wraith, or sorry, it wasn't AC Wraith. It's Andrew Smith says, she let him watch her eat. That's a fantastic boss she is. Yeah, I let AC Wraith watch me eat and tell him how good it is while he sits there and starves. Can I have some more, please? BBL's FTW. All right. So that's good. I like that too. These are 3 good stories, a nice way to end the show. Now, anything we want to talk about before we end the show? What's next week looking for, for this English hard? I don't know what's happening to me right now.
Week next, me here not.
Really? You're not here on the 22nd?
No, I will be in Texas.
Texas. Okay. Yes. All right. So, Andrew Smith, who had to work, I guess you must be at work right now. That's not why you're on. Will you be around
he's
next weekend? Yeah, but he's not on the show.
Oh no, yeah,
he's at work.
Yeah.
Can you be around for next weekend to be a second chair? Otherwise, we may just not do a show, or I might just, do an AMA.
Next week, I could probably join in the chat to tech stuff, but I couldn't.
Yeah, you could be the equivalent of what AC Wraith is right now.
Exactly. We'll swap places.
Yeah. Andrew Smith says, "Me will try." Okay, you do that. And thank you for reminding me. AC Wraith Steam sale starts on the 19th. That is on Thursday, the same day. Instead of playing Fortnite, you could just not play Fortnite that day and go cruise the Steam sale. Spend your day doing something productive.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir here.
And he says, you look out for sale on the World Cup Soccer Pinball FX table because they lose the license on April 30th.
Oh, that sucks to lose the license right before the World Cup actually happens.
Yeah. So, let's tentatively say it's going to be AC Wraith. And if it's not AC Wraith, it's going to be, Creation Chaos. It's going to be Andrew Smith. Let's tentatively say that Andrew is going to be on the show with me next weekend. If not, then I may just stream and we won't actually have a podcast unless some huge news comes up. And then I will just come on by myself because I've done it before. I don't mind doing it. I just hope that some of you show up for the live stream so I can bounce ideas off you and we can actually have a conversation.
Almost made a whole show without you getting them confused.
Yeah, almost made a whole show without me calling him AC Wraith. That's
I mean,
true.
as AC Rick says, you were doing really good for a while.
I was due. I was.
Yeah.
So on that note, can we close this out?
Yes.
All right, let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 812. We recorded this on March 15th, 2026. I've been Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website. GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitch. On Facebook and Twitch, we are the GameHounds. On YouTube, we are GameHounds Vids, VIDS, as in game videos. All one word, GameHounds Vids. Please join us live as we record our podcast, which we do edit this down and release as a podcast on iTunes, on Apple Podcasts. No matter if you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, please do me a favor, or listening to it as an Apple podcast, please leave us feedback. Hit the star, hit the like, subscribe, do whatever you need to do. If you like the content that we're doing, help us do more of it by assisting with getting our information, getting us higher up in the algorithm so more people can find us. And you only you can do that. I can try, but you're ultimately the ones that are going to have to do the actual deed of subscribing, liking, star, whatever it takes to get us up and higher in those search engines. Also, another great way to help us. We don't offer any special behind the scenes stuff other than coming and watching us do the show live. But what we do is ask you for $1 a month. $1 a month is all we ask on Patreon, patreon.com/GameHounds. $1 a month, that comes down to usually less than 25 cents a show. And it makes such a difference helping us pay for all the subscription and ancillary costs that come with making a live stream and a podcast, because they are not insignificant. And mama got to pay the rent, and the rent is too damn high. With everything getting more expensive, shrinkflation isn't the only thing. It's not just Amazon and Epic that are doing the shrinkflation. There are other places. A lot of it has to do with this stuff. $1 a month is all we ask. Patreon.com/GameHounds. Also, if you aren't on our Discord, please come to our Discord. You can find the Discord information in the description of anywhere you're watching this. Thank you, Nick, for being on the show. Thanks, AC Wraith, for being our link bitch. And we will talk to you maybe next week or the week after. You'll know by going to our Discord. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye. Well, gentlemen and all, Andrew Smith says the show is all behind the scenes. You think we leave anything out? It is. It pretty much is. I mean, you've gotten a chance to watch us, me eat food when that's a huge no.
No, that's just a mukbang. That's all it is.
I don't know. I don't do mukbangs. I don't eat that gross
We
kind
do
of stuff.
everything.
It's a bowl of cereal. It's not a mukbang.
Mm.
But all right. So Nick, you and I were talking about playing
Yes, Toxic Commando.
Toxic Commando. Now, Chaos. Are you in a place where you will be able to play that with us later? I don't know that you seem to be that you're going to be working tonight, so it's not a possibility. But Nick, do you feel was it this game or was it another game that you said that you kind of needed to be walked through it because it's very complex?
No, that was Marathon.
Oh, that was Marathon. Okay, so I don't need to have somebody baby step me through the tutorial, correct?
I don't think so. I was watching Andrew play it last night, and it's a Left 4 Dead like.
Straightforward. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta wander around and look for stuff, but you wander around and look for stuff. That's the game.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go
till 9 p.m. our time.
You're
working.
working until 9 p.m. All right. I don't know that I'll be able to play that late because I do have to go to bed and be up tomorrow morning for a staff meeting. So I have to be in on time / early. So I'm thinking that I might want to just not have to worry about about Andrew tonight, but it'll be just you and me. And we may stream it. I'm gonna hook up my PlayStation 4 to my TV and we'll see how that works. And I might decide at that point whether I buy it for PlayStation or if I buy it for PC. But I don't want to buy it for both because it's going to be expensive if I do that.
Yeah.
And
it's only $40, but if you
How
buy
are you playing it?
twice, I'm on PlayStation.
Okay. All right. So maybe I will do it because I know that it will work seamlessly and I can also talk to you through PlayStation more easily that way. All right. I have to go to the bathroom. Everyone, thank you for watching the show. We will talk to you. Like I said, the only way that you're going to know if we actually are having a live stream, a show, a solo show with me, or nothing at all is to be on our Discord. So go to our Discord server and I'll make sure I keep you updated about what it's like. Chaos, if you could make sure that you update to the Discord of what the situation is for next week throughout the week so that we get as much notification
Or
as
a
possible.
mukbang.
I'm not going to do a mukbang. No, never. Nobody wants to see a
Games are
59-year-old
definitely
woman
more
doing a
important than
mukbang.
staff meetings.
Agreed, but unfortunately my boss does not agree. You know it and I know it, but bosses, they trump all. So keep us apprised, keep me apprised of whether Sunday is a possibility for you next week. Otherwise, there is a possibility we may be dark. All right, everyone. Have a great week. I got to go to the bathroom. That's why I'm hurrying you off. Please go, leave, get out of here. Go. Bye.
Says committing.